When Sarah vanished on a solo trip to Miami, Tom thought it was just a break. But a cryptic text and a stranger's name shattered his world. As secrets unravel, Tom faces a choice: fight for his family or let it crumble. A tale of betrayal, courage, and a comeback that hits harder than heartbreak. Tom Harper woke to the buzz of his 5:45 a.m. alarm, the Atlanta sunrise barely creeping through the blinds. He rolled out of bed, careful not to wake Sarah, who was curled up on her side, her phone glowing faintly on the nightstand. Downstairs, he started the coffee maker and pulled out ingredients for the kids' lunches. Peanut butter for Mia's sandwich, turkey for Lucas's wrap. Routine was his anchor, and Tom, a 38-year-old high school soccer coach, thrived on it. He loved the rhythm of family life, coaching Mia's team, helping Lucas with math homework, and stealing moments with Sarah to plan their 15th anniversary. Mia, 10, bounded into the kitchen first, her soccer bag slung over her shoulder. "Dad, can you braid my hair before practice?" she asked, already digging into her cereal. Tom grinned, grabbing a hair tie. "Only if you promise not to score on me at practice again," he teased, his fingers working quickly through her hair. Lucas, 7, shuffled in, rubbing his eyes. "Can we have pizza night tonight?" he mumbled. Tom ruffled his hair. "Deal, buddy. Extra pepperoni." The kids' chatter filled the room, a familiar warmth that made the early mornings worth it. Sarah appeared, dressed for her marketing job, her eyes glued to her phone. "Morning," she said, distracted, grabbing a coffee mug. Tom noticed the faint crease in her brow, the way her thumbs scrolled endlessly. "Big day at work?" he asked, hoping to spark a real conversation. She nodded vaguely. "Just a lot of emails." Her voice was clipped, not cold but distant, like she was already halfway out the door. Tom let it slide, chalking it up to her latest project. Sarah was always juggling deadlines, and he admired her hustle, even if it meant fewer moments together lately. As they herded the kids to the car, Mia to soccer, Lucas to school, Tom ran through the day's plan. "I'll grab the kids after practice." "You good for dinner?" he asked Sarah. She hesitated, then said, "Actually, I might need to stay late." "Client meeting." Tom nodded, ignoring the twinge in his gut. Sarah's late nights had become more frequent, her phone a constant companion. But he trusted her. They'd built this life together, 2 kids, a mortgage, a shared calendar packed with school events and date nights. It was solid, or so he thought. That evening, after pizza night, the kids were sprawled on the living room floor, battling over a board game. Tom sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone, planning a surprise for their anniversary, a weekend getaway to Savannah, just the 2 of them. Sarah walked in, her heels clicking, her face lit by her phone screen. "Hey, babe," Tom said, looking up. "Want to help me pick a spot for our anniversary?" She glanced over, her smile tight. "Sure, later. I am wiped." She kissed his forehead, a quick, mechanical gesture, and headed upstairs. The next morning, over breakfast, Sarah dropped the bomb. "Jenna's planning a girls' trip to Miami," she said, stirring her coffee. "It's just a long weekend, cheap flights. I'm thinking of going." Tom paused, his fork hovering over his eggs. Sarah wasn't impulsive. She planned grocery lists like military campaigns. A last-minute trip felt off. "Miami, huh? When?" he asked, keeping his tone light. "This Friday," she said, not meeting his eyes. "It's just 4 days. I need a break, you know." Her voice was casual, but there was an edge, like she was daring him to question it. Tom leaned back, studying her. "Everything okay?" he asked. Sarah's eyes flicked to her phone, then back to him. "Yeah, fine. Just work stress. It'll be good to unplug." She stood, clearing her plate, ending the conversation. Tom wanted to push to ask why she seemed so far away, but Mia interrupted, asking for help with her math homework. He let it go, focusing on long division, but the unease lingered like a shadow. By Thursday, Sarah was packing, tossing swimsuits and sandals into a suitcase with a strange energy, almost giddy. Tom watched from the doorway, arms crossed. "You're sure about this trip?" he asked. She didn't pause. "It's just a few days, Tom. I'll be back Monday." She zipped the bag, her movements sharp. "The kids will be fine with you. You've got this." Her confidence felt like a dismissal. He nodded, swallowing the questions piling up in his throat. Friday morning, Sarah hugged Mia and Lucas tightly, promising to bring back souvenirs. She turned to Tom, her arms wrapping around him in a quick, stiff hug. "See you soon. she said, her eyes already on the Uber outside. As the car pulled away, Tom stood on the porch, watching the taillights fade. The kids ran back inside, but he lingered, a knot tightening in his chest. Something was wrong. He couldn't name it, but it was there, sharp and cold, like a blade pressed against his ribs. That night, after tucking the kids in, Tom checked his phone. Sarah had sent a photo, a Miami sunset, all orange and pink over the ocean. "Wish you were here," she texted. He stared at the message, his thumb hovering over the keyboard. He typed, "Looks amazing. Having fun," and hit send. No reply came. He waited, the silence stretching, his unease growing heavier. By midnight, still nothing. He set the phone down, telling himself she was just busy. But deep down, he knew this wasn't just a girl's trip. Something was shifting, and Tom wasn't sure he was ready for what came next. Tom Harper leaned against the kitchen counter, sipping lukewarm coffee as the Atlanta morning hummed with routine. It was Sunday, day 2 of Sarah's Miami trip, and the house felt quieter without her. Mia was sprawled on the couch, sketching soccer plays, while Lucas built a Lego spaceship at the table. Tom's phone buzzed, a text from Sarah. A photo of a neon-lit Miami bar. Her and Jenna raising colorful drinks. "Girls' night," the caption read. He typed back, "Looks fun. How's it going?" and waited. No reply. He shook it off, focusing on Lucas's plea for help with a tricky Lego piece. By Monday, Sarah's texts were sporadic. Another photo came through. Her on a beach, waves crashing, caption paradise. Tom responded, "Kids miss you. Call tonight." Again, silence. He kept busy, driving Mia to soccer practice and helping Lucas with a school project, but the lack of response gnawed at him. Sarah wasn't a texter by nature, but this felt deliberate, like she was pulling away. He checked her social media, hoping for a clue. Her posts were public, carefree. Palm trees, cocktails, a selfie with Jenna and 2 other friends. Nothing alarming, but something felt off, like a puzzle piece missing. Tuesday morning, Tom's phone rang while he was prepping breakfast. It was Jenna, Sarah's friend, her voice tight. "Tom, we need to talk." His stomach dropped. He stepped outside, away from the kids' chatter. Jenna hesitated, then spilled it. Sarah hadn't come back with them from Miami. She'd stayed behind, saying she met new friends and wanted to extend the trip. "She asked us not to tell you," Jenna said, guilt heavy in her tone. She said she'd explain herself. Tom gripped the phone, his pulse racing. "Who are these friends?" he asked. Jenna paused. "She mentioned a guy, Ethan. I don't know details. I am sorry, Tom." He thanked her, his voice steady despite the storm in his chest. Back inside, he plastered on a smile for Mia and Lucas, who were arguing over the last pancake. Mom's flight got delayed, he lied, flipping another onto the griddle. His mind spun. Sarah, his Sarah, staying in Miami with some guy named Ethan? It didn't add up. She'd never been reckless, never hinted at wanting out. Or had she? He thought back to her distracted glances, her phone always in hand, the way she'd brushed off his anniversary plans. The signs were there, but he'd ignored them, trusting their life was unshakable. That afternoon, Tom scrolled through Sarah's social media again, his thumb trembling. A new post popped up, a tagged photo from a stranger's account. Sarah, laughing on a yacht, her arm around a tall guy in sunglasses. The caption, "Living my best life with new friends." The guy, tagged as Ethan Caldwell, had a slick profile. Entrepreneur, Miami-based, all polished photos of boats and city skylines. Tom's jaw tightened. He clicked Ethan's profile, finding more photos. Sarah in a group shot, her smile brighter than it had been in months. He slammed his phone down, his breath shallow. The kids were at school, so he let himself pace the kitchen, anger and dread colliding. He texted Sarah. Jenna called. "You're still in Miami? What's going on?" No answer. Hours later, a reply came. "Needed some space. I'll be home soon. Don't worry." The words felt hollow, like a script. Tom stared at the message, his fingers hovering over a sharper response, but he stopped. He wouldn't beg. Instead, he called his sister, Claire, who lived nearby. "Can you watch the kids tonight?" he asked, voice low. Claire sensed his tone. "Everything okay?" she asked. "Not sure yet," he said. "Just need to think." With the kids at Claire's, Tom drove to the park where he coached Mia's team. The empty field was his refuge. He sat on the bleachers, replaying Jenna's words, the yacht photo, Sarah's vague texts. He tried calling her, It went to voicemail. "Sarah, call me back. We need to talk," he said, keeping his voice calm. No response. By 10 p.m., another text from her. "On a boat with friends. Bad signal. I'll call tomorrow." Tomorrow. The word stung. She was out there, living a life he wasn't part of, while he held their world together. Tom drove home, the radio off, his thoughts loud. He remembered Sarah's late nights at work, her sudden interest in Miami, the way she dodged his questions about the trip. Had she planned this? Was Ethan someone she'd known before? The questions piled up, each one a jab to his gut. He checked his phone again. No call, no new texts. But there was a notification. Sarah had liked a post from Ethan's account, a shot of a Miami nightclub. Tom's grip tightened. He didn't know who this woman was anymore. The next morning, Tom kept the routine tight for the kids. He drove them to school, cracking jokes to mask his tension. "Mia, notichid. Is Mom okay?" she asked, buckling her seatbelt. Tom forced a smile. "She's just enjoying her trip. She'll be back soon." The lie tasted bitter. At work, he coached his team through drills, his focus splintered. A colleague, Mark, noticed his distraction. "You good, man?" he asked. Tom shrugged. "Just family stuff." Mark nodded, not pushing. Tom appreciated it, but the weight didn't lift. By Wednesday, Sarah's silence was deafening. Tom checked her location on their shared app, disabled. He called Jenna again, who sounded apologetic. "She texted me yesterday, said she's staying a few more days. Something about a boat trip with Ethan's friends. I told her to call you, Tom. I swear." Tom thanked her, his voice clipped. He sat his car outside the school, waiting for pickup, and Googled Ethan Caldwell. Articles popped up. Tech startup founder, 40, single, known for flashy Miami parties. Tom's blood ran cold. This wasn't a random fling. Sarah was diving into a world that didn't include him or the kids. That night, Tom tucked Mia and Lucas in, reading an extra chapter of Lucas's favorite book to keep things normal. But as he closed their doors, his phone buzzed. A new photo from Sarah. Her alone, staring at the ocean, no caption. He didn't respond. Instead, he opened his laptop, searching for flights to Miami. For a moment, he imagined confronting her, demanding answers. But he stopped. He wouldn't chase her. If she was choosing this, he'd protect what mattered most. Mia, Lucas, and the life they'd built. As he lay in bed, the empty space beside him felt like a warning. Whatever came next, Tom knew one thing. He wasn't the one drifting away. Tom Harper sat at the kitchen table, the clock ticking past 10 p.m. on Thursday, the Atlanta air heavy with late spring humidity. Mia and Lucas were asleep upstairs, their backpacks ready for school. His phone lay silent. No new text from Sarah, who was still in Miami, her girls' trip now stretching into its 6th day. The last message, a photo of her staring at the ocean, felt like a taunt. Tom's fingers twitched, itching to call her again, but he'd already left 3 voicemails. Her silence was an answer, and it cut deeper than words. The day had been a blur of routine, driving the kids to school, coaching soccer drills, dodging questions from colleagues about his strained expression. But now, alone, the weight of Sarah's absence pressed harder. He opened his laptop, pulling up her social media. A new post from Ethan Caldwell's account. A group shot on a rooftop bar, Sarah in the background, laughing, her hand on Ethan's arm. The caption read, "Chasing the Miami vibe." Tom's chest tightened. He clicked Ethan's profile again, scrolling through posts of luxury cars, private jets, and crowded parties. This was the world Sarah was choosing over their life. His phone buzzed, snapping him out of it. A text from Jenna. "Sarah's coming back tomorrow. Flight lands at 3 p.m. She said she'll talk then." Tom stared at the message, his jaw clenched. No apology, no explanation, just a promise to talk. He typed a curt thanks and tossed the phone aside. Sleep was out of the question. He paced the kitchen, replaying every moment of the past week. Sarah's rushed announcement about the trip, her vague texts, Jenna's call about new friends. He'd trusted her, believed their life was solid. Now, that trust was crumbling, and he wasn't sure what would be left. Friday morning, Tom kept the kids' routine airtight. He made pancakes, cracked jokes about Lucas's messy hair, and drove Mia to soccer practice. "When's Mom coming home?" Lucas asked from the back seat. Tom gripped the steering wheel. "Today, buddy. She'll be back this afternoon." The lie was easier than the truth. He dropped them at school, then headed to the airport early, his stomach knotted. He didn't know what to expect when Sarah stepped off that plane. But he needed answers, not more evasions. At Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, Tom waited by the arrivals gate, scanning the crowd. Jenna and the other friends appeared first, their faces tight when they spotted him. "Where's Sarah?" he asked, his voice low but firm. Jenna hesitated, glancing at the others. "She didn't come with us," she said. "She texted this morning, said she's staying a bit longer. Something about a last-minute boat trip with Ethan's crew." Tom's blood ran cold. "She didn't tell me," he said, his tone flat. Jenna shifted uncomfortably. "She said she'd call you." "I am sorry, Tom. We tried to get her to come back." He nodded, thanking them, and walked away, his steps heavy. In the car, he checked his phone. No messages, no missed calls. He dialed Sarah. Straight to voicemail. "Sarah, it's me. You didn't come home. What the hell's going on? Call me." He hung up, his hands shaking. Back home, he told the kids another lie. Mom's flight got delayed again. "She'll be back soon." Mia frowned, sensing something but didn't push. Lucas just nodded, distracted by his Legos. Tom's heart ached. He hated lying, but he couldn't let them see the cracks yet. That evening, a text finally came, staying a few more days. "Needed this. I'll explain when I'm back. No apology, no words." Tom stared at the words, anger surging. He typed a reply, then deleted it. Instead, he called his sister, Claire, again. "Can you take the kids for the weekend?" he asked. "I need to figure this out." Claire agreed, no questions asked. With the kids at her place, Tom sat alone, the house too quiet. He opened Ethan's social media again, finding a new video. Sarah dancing on a yacht, Ethan's arm around her waist. The comments were brutal, strangers calling her the life of the party, oblivious to the family she'd left behind. Tom's anger boiled over. He grabbed his keys, tempted to drive to Miami, to confront her on that damn yacht. But he stopped himself. He wasn't that guy. Instead, he went for a run, pounding the pavement through the neighborhood, each step a release. When he got back, sweaty and spent, he checked his phone. A new voicemail from Sarah, timestamped an hour ago. "Tom, I'm sorry I didn't call sooner," her voice said, shaky but distant. "I met someone here. Ethan, it's not what you think, but I need time to figure things out. I'll be home Monday. We'll talk then." The message ended abruptly. He played it again, then a third time, her words slicing deeper each listen. "Not what you think." What did that even mean? He didn't call back. Instead, he texted, "You're on a yacht with some guy, lying to me, to the kids. Come home and face this, Sarah." No response. He didn't expect one. The next day, Saturday, he threw himself into the kids' routine. Soccer games, ice cream runs, anything to keep them smiling. But his mind was elsewhere, replaying her voicemail, the yacht video, Jenna's guilty tone. He checked flights again, then closed the tab. Chasing her wouldn't fix this. He needed to protect Mia and Lucas, no matter what came next. Sunday night, another photo arrived. Sarah on a beach, alone, caption clearing my head. Tom didn't reply. He was done playing her game. He called a lawyer friend, Mike, and asked about custody options, just in case. "Don't jump the gun," Mike said, "but document everything, texts, posts, voicemails. It'll help if things go south." Tom took the advice, saving screenshots of Sarah's posts and Ethan's. He wasn't ready to admit defeat, but he wasn't naive either. Whatever Sarah was doing in Miami, it wasn't just a break. It was a choice, and it was tearing their life apart. Monday morning, Tom woke to a text, landing at 4 p.m. "I'll come home. We need to talk." His pulse quickened. He didn't know if he was ready to see her, to hear whatever truth she'd finally spit out. But he knew one thing. This wasn't about saving their marriage anymore. It was about saving himself and the kids from the fallout. As he drove to pick them up from Claire's, he steeled himself. Sarah could run, but she couldn't hide forever. Today, he'd face her, and the truth would hit hard. Tom Harper stood in the Atlanta airport parking lot, his truck idling as he checked his phone. Sarah's flight had landed at 4:03 p.m., 10 minutes ago. No text, no call. He'd driven to pick her up, but now he second-guessed it. After 8 days in Miami, her cryptic texts, and that yacht video with Ethan, Tom wasn't sure who would step off that plane. He stayed put, giving her space to reach out. By 4:30, nothing. He drove home, his grip tight on the wheel, bracing for whatever came next. At the house, Mia was at soccer practice with Claire, and Lucas was at a friend's. Tom sat at the kitchen table, scrolling through Sarah's social media. Her last post was from yesterday, a Miami skyline, caption New Horizons. No mention of coming home. He checked Ethan's profile, a new photo of a rooftop party, but Sarah wasn't in it. Relief mixed with dread. Was she really back? Or was this another dodge? His phone buzzed, a text from Sarah at the house. Where are you? His pulse spiked. She'd taken an Uber. Tom walked in to find Sarah in the living room, her suitcase by the door. She stood, arms crossed, her posture defiant. Hey, she said, her voice flat, like she'd just run an errand. Tom shut the door, keeping his tone even. You're late. Kids are out. Talk. Sarah sighed, sitting on the couch. I needed a break, Tom. Miami was freeing. He stayed standing. Freeing from what? Us? The kids. Her eyes flicked away. From everything. Work, routine, pressure. She paused, then added, I met someone. Ethan. He's different. Tom's stomach churned, but he kept still. Different how? Sarah shrugged, avoiding his gaze. He listens, makes me feel alive. It's not serious, just a connection. Tom's voice hardened. You stayed a week with him, lied to me, to your friends. That's not a connection. That's a choice. Sarah's jaw tightened. It's not what you think. We didn't. Tom cut her off. Don't. I saw the posts, the yacht, his arm around you. Be honest for once. Silence stretched. Then, quietly, she said, It happened once. I didn't plan it. The admission hit like a punch. Tom exhaled, steadying himself. Get out, he said low and firm. Stay with him, your mom, I don't care. Not here. Sarah's eyes widened. Tom, wait. He shook his head. You made your call. I'm protecting the kids. She stood, grabbing her suitcase, her voice sharp. Fine. I'll go to Ethan's. You'll regret this. She walked out, a sleek black car waiting. Ethan's, no doubt. The door slammed, and Tom stood frozen, the house too quiet. The next morning, he told Mia and Lucas, Mom's working out some stuff. She'll visit soon. Their questions stung, but he kept it vague, shielding them. He threw himself into routine, school drop-offs, soccer coaching, dinner prep. At night, alone, he felt the betrayal's weight, but refused to crumble. He joined a local photography club, a hobby he'd shelved years ago. Snapping shots of Atlanta's parks and the kids' games gave him focus. He posted them online, captioned short but honest, finding light in the chaos. Likes piled up, strangers commenting support. It wasn't much, but it was a start. A week later, a message popped up from Lisa, a former colleague. Saw your photos, Tom. They're amazing. You okay? He hesitated, then replied, getting there. Thanks. They started texting, light chats about work, kids, life. Lisa's humor cut through his fog. When she suggested coffee, Tom said yes. A local cafe, they laughed over old office stories. Lisa listened as he shared bits of the mess with Sarah, her nod free of judgment. You're doing right by the kids, she said. That's what counts. Tom felt seen, not pitted. Meanwhile, Sarah's new life wasn't what she'd expected. Ethan's Miami penthouse was sleek, but cold. He was charming at first. Dinners at upscale spots, late-night drives in his convertible. But his attention waned. He spent hours on calls, left her alone during business trips, and brushed off her attempts to talk. When she mentioned missing Mia and Lucas, he changed the subject. Relax, babe. Enjoy the view, he'd say, gesturing to the skyline. Sarah scrolled Tom's posts in secret, watching videos of Mia scoring goals, Lucas building forts. The kids looked happy without her. Regret crept in, sharp and relentless. Tom kept rebuilding. He took the kids to a Braves game, their cheers drowning out his doubts. He posted a photo of them with foamed fingers, captioned Team Harper. Lisa commented, best crew ever. Their chats grew frequent, then turned to lunches, then a park walk with the kids. Mia called Lisa cool, and Lucas asked her to read his bedtime story. Tom noticed how Lisa fit. Easy, genuine, no pressure. He wasn't rushing, but her presence warmed the edges of his pain. Sarah's calls to the kids were rare, her voice strained. Tom stayed civil, arranging brief visits, but kept boundaries firm. One night, alone in Ethan's penthouse, Sarah broke. She texted Tom, can we talk? Not about us, just the kids. He agreed, meeting her at a neutral diner. She looked tired, her confidence gone. Ethan's not what I thought, she admitted. I miss the kids. Tom nodded, unmoved. They miss you too, but you need to show up, not just say it. She nodded, eyes down, but didn't push further. Tom left the diner lighter, not from forgiveness, but from clarity. Sarah's choices were hers to own. He focused on Mia, Lucas, and the life he was carving out. His photography gained traction. A local gallery even asked to feature his work. Lisa helped him prep, her encouragement steady. As he hung a photo of the kids laughing, Tom realized he wasn't just surviving. He was building something new, piece by piece, from the ashes of what Sarah had burned. Tom Harper parked his truck outside the Atlanta Community Center, the late afternoon sun glinting off the windshield. It was a Saturday, 3 months since Sarah's return from Miami, and he was setting up for his first photography exhibit. Mia and Lucas helped carry his prints, their chatter filling the air as they debated which photo, Lucas's soccer kick or Mia's sunset shot, should go front and center. Tom smiled, his heart lighter than it had been in months. The exhibit was small, just a local gallery showcase, but it felt like a milestone. His lens had captured their new life, candid moments of the kids, Atlanta's quiet parks, and a resilience he hadn't known he had. Sarah's absence loomed, but it no longer consumed him. After their diner meeting, she'd promised to visit the kids regularly, but her calls were spotty, her visits brief. Tom kept things civil for Mia and Lucas, arranging pickups at neutral spots, but he drew a line. No more lies, no more chaos. He'd hired a lawyer, Mike, to draft custody papers, ensuring the kids stayed with him. Sarah hadn't fought it, her signature on the documents almost too easy. Tom suspected she was still chasing Ethan's world, but he didn't ask. His focus was here, now, with the kids and the life he was rebuilding. Lisa had become a steady presence. She wasn't pushing, just showing up, helping Mia with a science project, cheering at Lucas's games, joining Tom for coffee that turned into long talks. Her warmth was effortless, and the kids adored her. Last week, Lucas had slipped and called her Aunt Lisa, then blushed. She laughed, ruffling his hair, and Tom had caught himself smiling, a real one, not the forced kind he'd worn for months. Tonight, Lisa was coming to the exhibit, bringing her homemade brownies for the kids. Tom wasn't ready to call it love, but it was something solid, something honest. Across town, Sarah sat alone in a rented studio apartment, the Miami glow long gone. Ethan had ended things weeks ago, his text curt, "Needs space. Busy with work." She'd moved back to Atlanta, scraping by on her marketing job, the penthouse life a fading memory. She'd scroll Tom's social media late at night, watching videos of Mia's soccer goals, Lucas's Lego creations, and Tom's growing photography page. The comments, strangers praising his work, calling him inspiring, stung. She'd seen Lisa in one video, helping Mia with a poster board, and the sight twisted something deep inside her. She tried calling Tom once, asking to meet, but his response was polite, firm, "Let's keep it about the kids." Today, Sarah made a choice. She drove to Tom's house, unannounced, her hands trembling as she rang the bell. The kids were at the exhibit, but she didn't know that. Tom opened the door, his expression neutral. "No emergency, I hope," he said, stepping onto the porch. Sarah shook her head, her voice shaky. "I messed up, Tom. Ethan was a mistake. He used me, and I lost everything." She paused, searching his face. "I miss the kids. I miss us. Can we try again?" Tom's jaw tightened, but he didn't flinch. "You made your choice, Sarah. The kids are happy. I'm moving forward." She stepped closer, her voice breaking. "I know I hurt you. I see it now, what I threw away. Please, just a chance." Tom looked past her, to the street where their life used to be. "You didn't just hurt me," he said. "You left Mia and Lucas waiting, wondering why their mom wasn't there. I won't let that happen again." Sarah's eyes welled up, but Tom's resolve held. "You can see the kids, but it's on their terms, not yours. There's no us anymore." He pointed to the driveway, where Lisa's car was pulling in, the kids piling out with laughter. Sarah froze, seeing Mia wave at Lisa, Lucas clutching a brownie. The sight broke her. "I thought Ethan was freedom," she whispered. "But he didn't care about me. Not like you did." Tom's voice was steady, not cruel. "You traded what we had for a fantasy. I'm not your fallback." Sarah nodded, tears falling, and turned to leave. As she walked to her car, Mia ran up, hugging her briefly. "You coming to my game tomorrow?" Mia asked. Sarah forced a smile. "I'll try, sweetie." But her voice cracked, and Mia ran back to Tom, who watched Sarah drive away. At the exhibit, Tom hung his final photo, a shot of the kids laughing under a park oak, captioned "Roots That Hold." The room filled with locals, friends, and Lisa, who stood by him as he greeted guests. A gallery owner approached, offering to sell his prints online. Tom grinned, shaking her hand. "Just trying to capture what matters," he said. Lisa squeezed his arm, her smile quiet but proud. The kids darted around, showing off Dad's art to anyone who'd listen. For the first time in months, Tom felt whole. Not because Sarah was gone, but because he'd built something stronger without her. Sarah spent the evening alone, replaying Tom's words. She opened her phone, staring at a photo of the kids from last year's beach trip, their smiles wide, Tom's arm around her. She deleted most of Ethan's photos, but the regret lingered. She texted Mia, "Love you. I'll be at your game." Mia's reply was a thumbs-up emoji, nothing more. Sarah set the phone down, the silence heavy. She'd chased a thrill and lost what grounded her. Now, she'd have to earn her way back, step by painful step, starting with being the mom she'd failed to be. Tom didn't dwell on Sarah's visit. He took the kids for ice cream after the exhibit, Lisa joining them. Lucas spilled chocolate on his shirt, and Mia teased him, sparking a laugh that filled the shop. Tom caught Lisa's eye, her grin mirroring his. Later, as he tucked the kids into bed, Mia asked, "Is Mom okay?" Tom paused, then said, "She's figuring things out. But we're good, right?" Mia nodded, hugging him. "Yeah, Dad, we're good." Driving Lisa home, Tom felt a quiet peace. "Thanks for being there," he said. She shrugged, smiling. "You're making it easy." He didn't need to say more. Their rhythm was enough. Sarah's betrayal had cracked his world, but hadn't broken him. Justice wasn't in her pain. It was in the life he'd rebuilt, the kids' laughter, the photos capturing moments she'd never reclaim. As he pulled into his driveway, Tom knew he wasn't just surviving. He was thriving, and that was enough.